at my feed this morning, and there's a video on there about MK Ultra, and another one that I follow, another YouTuber I follow, he was talking about MK Ultra as well. And there's a misunderstanding of what MK Ultra is. So generally speaking, when you look at these sorts of things, you have to read between the lines, because what they're showing is not the truth. If you consider the fact that the CIA released documents about this government program that allegedly used people, it gave them LSD as an experiment for this mind control program. If you actually read the documents, you can see there's a lot of holes in it. And so mind control, the reason that this document has a lot of holes in it is because you're supposed to read it and go, oh my gosh, this is not true. And I saw the documentary, well, I don't think it was a documentary, reenactment, docudrama, whatever it was, about this program and the man who participated in the program. Again, lots of holes in it. So essentially, it was using LSD to mind control people. The reason that this was put forward is to give the impression that that is what mind control is. It's such a limited perspective. And the people in the sort of conspiracy camps will put out this information about mind control and MK Ultra as if the celebrities are all under mind control. MK Ultra, they're party to this government program, which is not true at all. The reason it's not true is because that's not mind control. Everything is about mind control, because this reality is about controlling your mind. As I've said many, many times, if you do not control your mind, someone will control it for you. And so if you are not aware that this reality is created from the mind, it's also created from who you are, the essence of who you are. It's created from the tarot play. So I guess you would say the out there, the world stage, the elite, the celebrities putting on the show, the government, the whole infrastructure, the people who run the show are all part of the show. They're all putting on a play, CIA included. The CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, is the physical representation of the mind. The government is about controlling the mind. So the Central Intelligence Agency is the manifestation of mind control, in the sense that it is about the running of the show, or the running of everything here, pulling the strings. You get control of your mind through meditation. You stop the thoughts, the external thoughts, the thoughts that you just picked up from the physical because you believe the physical was real. And so you determine, based on somebody's behavior and interaction with you, you make a story about what that means. And now you have cast a spell on yourself, which is mind control. So there's spell casting, there's hypnosis, there's brainwashing. That's mind control. You're brainwashed and manipulated and molded and shaped and programmed into believing certain things about this reality. That's one way to look at it. In fact, you're the one who programmed yourself by believing that the physical is real, by believing that what you see outside of you is real, by believing that what the people are saying on television is true. And so you're taking it all in as true and as fact. And so you're in fact the one brainwashing yourself and mind controlling yourself in a negative way. And what you really want to do is gain control of your mind. You want to harness control of the thoughts, because your thoughts create reality. And while you are constantly taking in things from the external and allowing them to control you, you're being controlled and manipulated by the 3D, by the external. And who runs the external? The elite. So the reason that they have this program called MK Ultra, and in that program, one of the symbols is a butterfly, because butterfly symbolizes transformation. And if you look at a cross section of your brain, there's a butterfly in the center of your brain, which is the fornix, because your transformation takes place in the fornix. And the MK Ultra, as I said in the decode about first daughter, MK Ultra is the home of the father, the Michael Keaton. The father is Uranus. So when you meditate and you raise Kundalini, you have the Kundalini connection, and you're in the fornix, in the head, and you perform the alchemical marriage within the head, you transform. That's true MK Ultra, because you transform into a monarch, which is royalty. So monarch is the butterfly that is used as the symbol of the transformation, because the monarch symbolizes royalty. You are now king or queen of your domain. You've been kinged, you've been crowned, you've been Christed, anointed. So the MK Ultra that they present you with, as with everything, is a clue and a red herring. And you have to look at everything that way. Everything that is presented to you by the shills or the conspiracy people. Because there's truth in it, but there's also deception in it. And it's a rite of passage for you to get past that level of deception, because the whole thing is about perception. So yeah, it's easy to get caught up in all of that. It's understandable, because you don't know what these symbols mean. You don't know what they stand for. And signs and symbols rule the world. And signs and symbols, if you don't know what they mean, they hold power. So same with letters of the alphabet, numbers, patterns of numbers. You can get mind controlled by frequency, music, pretty much anything can mind control you. And what we mean by mind control doesn't mean that you're like a zombie puppet that's totally controlled by some external force. Mind control just means that you are not aware that you're acting due to something that has been told to you, some kind of program or some kind of spell. So you might fall for, say, buying something that you don't need because you think that it's cool. And the only reason you think it's cool is because advertisers told you. That's a form of mind control. You might fall for in liking some celebrity because you kind of relate to them in some way, and then later on you find out that they're, you know, doing some nasty stuff you don't agree with, and so that's a form of mind control. They put on an image for you to fall for so that you like them, especially if it's coming out of dishonesty. Even pretty much everything is mind control. It's just, is it positive? Is it working in your favor? Or is it negative? And if it's negative, then you're doing things that you either normally wouldn't do, or you're doing things that go against your character, things that you feel guilty about, things you don't really understand why you're doing them, why you're thinking them or saying them. And if it's positive, then, you know, because you can get mind controlled from, say, you're just changing your mindset. So let's say you were in a mindset where you believed that you could just eat a lot of junk food and you didn't care about your weight, you didn't care about how you looked, it didn't matter to you. Physical exercise is awful and painful, and it just doesn't fit your idea of how to live. So then you get to the point where it's like, well, I don't really like how I feel or look or anything. And so then you start to get mind controlled into the opposite belief, where you want to be involved in fitness, you want to lose weight. So now you start to get involved in that mindset. You can be sort of tempered with it, where you are looking out for yourself, your health, your well-being, how you feel about yourself, how you look, and it's all about you, which is a healthy way to look at it. But then you can go to the extreme where you start doing weightlifting competitions, you start doing marathons, you start doing all of this extreme fitness regimen to get super bulky, or you start taking steroids, you start obsessing about your image, you get so absorbed in how good you look, and now you become like a total jerk because all you care about is how you look, whereas before you didn't care how you looked. And now you're like, wow, I had no idea I could look this good, let me get more and more into it. And then you start to fall into narcissism. So you've been susceptible to brainwashing because now you think that you need to be obsessed with how you look, and you need to look a certain way. Same with, the beauty industry is $1 billion industry because it feeds off of our insecurities, and we believe that we need to look the way these people in magazines or on TV look. And if we don't, then we're not good enough. So we start looking at all our flaws, and we start picking them all apart, and we buy all these products we don't need, that don't work, because we're hoping to find a miracle in a jar that's going to improve our lives and make us look better, make us look like the people we see on TV. And then we're disappointed when it doesn't work. And so we keep trying new things to try and get that satisfaction. That's all mind control, all of it. This MK Ultra thing, it's not mind control. You want to get to the place where you return to your authenticity, take your power back, understand who you are, why you're here, what matters to you, what do you really want. And if you meditate and you get in touch with your higher self and get in touch with your inner self, and then figure out for yourself what you really want and who you are and what you're all about, what's your authentic self. Ultimately, you want to get back to your authentic self. And that requires knowing who you are, knowing yourself, and getting away from the externals pressure upon you to be something other than who you are. In the members video, I'm going to talk more on this, more to do with sort of misconceptions of the ascension journey. See you tomorrow.